and to prepare its civilians for evacuations in the case of a possible air raid. The exercises will include a simulation of the transfer of Air Combat Command power in order to test the Air Force backup system and its emergency response capabilities during wartime. During the 5-day annual military drills, the Song Sing exercises, which aim to ensure reserve forces are adequately trained, will also take place. The drills are also covering a much greater sample of the population than previously, covering districts that account for a combined 3 million of Taiwan's 23 million people. Earlier, China sent nearly 40 warplanes towards Taiwan. Aircraft sent toward the island included J-10 and J-16 fighters and H-6 bombers. And Andrew Wood joins us from Hong Kong. Andrew, first let's talk about the US nuclear submarine. How significant is the arrival of this second US nuclear submarine in South Korea? I mean, how is it significant?
Just a matter. Well, last week, of course, we had the USS Kentucky. That was the first nuclear submarine to dock in South Korea for 40 years. Now we have another one, the USS Annapolis. There is a big difference with the USS Annapolis, though. It's nuclear powered, but it doesn't have nuclear arms. It's not a sub that will fire nuclear missiles, ballistic missiles, unlike the USS Kentucky, which came last week. Now, America promised back in April that it would send more ships, send more submarines to the region, to promise to South Korea that it would do that to try to deter the North Koreans. It doesn't seem to have worked in a way. Once the USS Kentucky arrived, the North Koreans fired ballistic missiles and then cruise missiles a couple of days later. So that didn't deter anything. This is obviously another show of strength. But it's a little bit more of a velvet hand in an iron glove. No, a iron glove in a velvet hand, because this is as I say, not a nuclear armed submarine. It's a nuclear powered submarine which is used against and for anti-ship warfare.
Andrew, how great is the risk of the outbreak of some sort of hostilities, perhaps accidentally, in the region?
Well, this is something that the South Koreans and Japan, for that matter, have lived with for 60 or 70 years. It is a lot more difficult now, I think, that North Korea has rockets and missiles and can detonate nuclear devices. We don't know how easily they could put a working nuclear warhead onto a missile, but it's a possibility. And every time that North Korea fires missiles, even if they land in the sea off Japan, then something could go horribly wrong with those and be misinterpreted. I think at the moment the South Koreans have been very good at trying not to aggravate the North Koreans, but North Korea is a very unpredictable place, and sometimes actually the times when it's most likely to make concessions in the past have been when it's been acting the most belligerently. The danger, of course, that is that it just goes a little bit too far.
All right. Thank you very much, Andrew Wood, for joining us. We're also joined by Alok Bansal.